Today's episode is the art of saying fuck it, choosing yourself without guilt. Let's talk about it. You've been taught your whole damn life to put everyone else first, to be a good friend, a reliable partner, the selfless daughter or son. But can I ask you a question? When's the last time you showed up for yourself like that? Yeah, I'll wait. This episode is for the people pleasers, the overgivers, the one who've been guilt tripped into believing that their worth is tied to how much of themselves they can give away. Today, we're breaking all those rules. We're tearing up the playbook and we're learning the fine art of saying fuck it and meaning it. I am your host, Tisha Denise, and welcome to Spank Me Positive Strip Down. You know, I don't sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. So if you're ready to stop living for everyone else and start living for you, then let's get into it. Let me start with this. Guilt is a manipulative little monster, and it's usually planted in us by people who benefit from putting it in us. Let's be honest, whether it's our family, our friends, or just society as a whole, we've been taught that saying no, setting boundaries, or prioritizing ourselves makes us selfish. But let me ask you something. Why is it selfish to take care of you? Why is it wrong to give yourself what you give so freely to everyone else? Spoiler alert, it's not. They just don't want to lose access to you. From the moment you're a child, you're fed the narrative that being good means being available to everyone all the time. Good daughters and sons don't say no to their parents. Good partners sacrifice their needs. Good friends let go of everything at the drop of a dime, even when they're empty. But what about you? When does the good that you do for everyone else come back to you? The answer is usually it doesn't. Think about it. How often do you drop everything for someone else? Even when you're barely holding on, even when you're barely holding it together, how often do you say yes when you are dying to say no? I'll be honest with you. I suffered from this. I'm talking about wholeheartedly on a grand scale. I would be tired. I would be in the middle of a flare up, and everyone knew that Tisha was always going to show up. If you called me, I was going to do everything possible, jump over the moon, swim through the river, fight the sharks, whatever it was going to take, I was going to show up. And a lot of times I did not have it in me to show up. I just did it. I don't even know what I was working off of. And I would sit on the phone sometimes with some of my people and they'd be like, Tisha, you got to start saying no. Some of my people tell me, they're like, Tisha, you are so good with helping everyone else with their problems, their inner issues, help them self-identify certain changes that they need to make in their life, but you don't do it for yourself sometimes. And I had to sit down and really acknowledge it. I always knew it, but I just felt like, because I am the show up friend, I show up for everyone. I'm going to be the shoulder to lean on. I'm going to make sure that if nobody else is in the building, Tisha is there, even when I didn't really have it to give. And so many of my people was like, you always give, give, give. I was taking my giving a little too far. Yes, I'm Spank Me Positive, but Tisha needs to take a moment for herself. Yeah, Tisha Denise loves to show up. Tisha Denise feels like it is her duty in this world to always be there for someone else. It doesn't matter if I'm there for an emotional reason, a mental reason, or you just need me there. I always show up. But I realized by doing that, I wasn't showing up for myself. Some of those times I was barely dragging myself out of the bed. I can't remember getting dressed. I just was in there making it do what it do. And I was really draining myself because I wanted to show up. And I had to set a boundary for myself. So trust and believe, when I be telling y'all this shit, it's not because I don't suffer from it. It's not because I ain't went through it. It's because I have. I can't tell you shit I don't know. But in a lot of these cases, when I say something on this podcast, it's because I either went through it, I'm going through it, or I've been real close to it. You understand what I'm saying? So I've been this person. It wasn't that long ago that I was still jumping my ass up. It wasn't that long ago that I was still picking that phone up on very important days so I can show up for people. I was sacrificing my own needs, my kids' needs, the person I'm dating. I'm sacrificing time with them because I'm showing up for everybody else. And I had to get my shit together because it was just becoming too much. And I had to sit down one day, meditate, talk to my spirit guides and God, and be like, listen, it's time. This is the next thing I need to do on my journey. I got to work on me. I got to work on this, because if I don't, I'm going to revert back to some of my old ways, because I'm emptying my cup. I'm too busy giving everything in my cup away, and I'm not keeping it full, because every time somebody needed me, I was there. And it just became an abusive situation. Sometimes it's the smallest things and I'm getting called for it. And then they wake up the next morning and everything is back to normal. And I've set up all night trying to be the great friend. And now I'm tired. I didn't do any of the things I was supposed to do. I didn't take the time out for the people who really needed me in my life, because I was showing up for everybody else. And those days had to be let the fuck go. So boundaries, I talk to y'all about boundaries all the time, but this was a new boundary that I had to bring forth within my life. If you feel what I'm saying, it was time for me to make another change. It was another growth opportunity for me. So it's your turn. Think about it. How often do we drop everything for someone else? But most of the time, you just get more expectations piled on your plate. But we're breaking that cycle today. And here's the kicker. When you start choosing yourself, you'll notice how quickly the narrative flips. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you changed. And let me tell you something. You damn fucking right. I motherfucking changed. And that's the point. Now, let's talk about boundaries. People love to set boundaries, but no one tells you how uncomfortable it can be. Setting boundaries is like working out a muscle you've never ever worked out before. It gets shaky, it gets awkward, it low-key gets very painful. But guess what? The more you work on it, the stronger you get. Boundaries are about you. They're not about them. You set boundaries because you value your peace, your energy, and your time. And trust me, the first time you enforce them, people act like you just so brand new. They'll test you, they'll push back. But here's the magic in all of that. When you stand firm in your boundaries, they either get with the program or they show themselves the door. Bye-bye. You can go. Deuces. The fuck? If that's how you feel, your presence is no longer needed here. Real talk. You see the shirt. Let me give you one small takeaway for this. Start small. Next time someone asks you for something that you just don't have the time or the energy for, just simply say, I can't commit to that right now. No excuses, no over-explaining, just a firm, respectful no. And trust me, you'll feel like a damn superhero afterwards. All right, now let's get into the hard part. Cutting people off. Look, I get it. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. You've got history, shared moments, maybe even a bond that used to feel unbreakable. But let me be 100% real with you. If someone's presence is costing you your peace, it's time to let them go. Here's the raw truth. You are not obligated to keep people in your life just because they've been there for a long time. Longevity does not equal loyalty. Let me say that again for my people in the back. Longevity does not equal loyalty. If they're draining you, disrespecting you, or holding you back, it's time to cut the cord. Snip, snip. I've had to let go of friends, family, even people I thought were going to be like my ride or dies for the rest of my life. And each time it hurt like hell. But you know what? Losing them made room for peace. And peace is priceless. Cutting ties isn't about being mean or being petty. It's about choosing yourself over the things and the people that no longer serve you. And if it makes you the villain in someone else's story, so be it. Be the villain. Better the villain than the victim. There was a time, and I'm going to be honest, even in the present moment, I have people in my life who never clap for me. Every win I've shared or share, they find a way to downplay it. Every goal I set, they find a way to cast doubt or brush it off. And one day recently, it just hit me. I'm out here watering a garden with someone who's rooting for the weeds. Nah, yeah, I gotta let you go. And even though it's gonna hurt, losing them is actually gonna make room for people who want to see me thrive. And I ain't mad at it. Here's the thing about choosing yourself. Not everyone's gonna like it. And that is okay. You've got to get comfortable with being misunderstood, because some people will never see your growth as a good thing, especially if that means they're going to lose access to you. But let me tell you this, their opinions don't matter. Their understanding is not your responsibility. Because here's the truth. When you choose yourself, you're not just saying yes to your peace. You're saying yes to your future. And if someone can't support that, they don't deserve a front row seat in your life. It's time for them to go on and exit stage left. Some of y'all are probably thinking, how do I know when it's time to let go? And I'm going to break it down for you. If you are constantly feeling drained, if you feel anxious whenever you get a phone call or a text from that person, or if you're sacrificing your happiness to keep the peace, it's time. Here's a simple rule that I live by. If it costs me my peace or my self-respect, then it's too damn expensive. You can't afford to keep people or situations around that are breaking you down. It's that simple. Let me tell you what happens when you finally decide to say fuck it and let go of what's weighing you down. You feel free. The weight you've been carrying, gone. That constant anxiety, the fuck gone. It's like clearing out a cluttered closet. You're getting rid of so many things you once loved. At first it feels overwhelming, but once you've done it, you feel lighter. You feel space to breathe, space to grow, to focus on what actually brings you joy. I'll never forget the first time I fully let go of someone toxic in my life. It was the scariest shit ever, but afterward, I felt like I could finally breathe again. It was a freedom like no other. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have that freedom to just breathe, just have space. Here's the thing about saying fuck it. It's not a one-time deal. I'll be honest with you. You've got to stay consistent. People will test your boundaries. Life will throw you curveballs, and that guilt, it's going to try to sneak back in. For sure. You got to remember to just keep choosing yourself as a daily practice. Every day you got to wake up and decide that you're worth it, that your peace matters, and that you're done settling for less. So here's your challenge for the week. I want you to say fuck it to anything that's been draining you, whether it be toxic relationships, bad habits, or just negative thoughts. Let it go and take your energy and pour it back into yourself. You deserve it. Now I'm going to leave you with the closing affirmation for this week. I want you to take it with you if it resonates. If it don't, shake it off, let it go. You ain't got to receive it. The affirmation for this week is, I am worthy of love, respect, and peace, and I don't have to sacrifice myself to get it. I choose myself every single day, and I don't need permission to do so. Now that's it for this episode of Spank Me Positive Strip Down. If this episode hit home, please don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe to my channel if it at all resonates with you. And we're going to find out with this. It isn't being selfish to say fuck it. It's about survival. You got one life to live, and you got to live it for you. Until next time, take care of yourself. You've earned it. I tell them fuck it. Fuck it. You drain me, fuck it. You toxic, fuck it. You can go. Now I get a text that my baby too fell out in the middle of a podcast. Mommy life never stops. Oh, Pookie Poo. Anyway, I gotta go holler at my baby, but fuck it. You toxic, fuck it. And I got my shirt, y'all. My best friend made this back when, cause she a beast with this shit. But this was back in her early days. I told her I wanted a shirt just like this, and she was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Follow her on TikTok or on Instagram at Just Love Creations if you want it. And like I said, this is one of her early days shirt, like way back when, and it's still going. It's still doing what it need to do. Holla at her. I'm gonna have her remake it. I'm gonna have her do me a new one. Just Love Creations. You always keep me on point. And I said, where's my little fucking shirt? This would be great for today's episode. And I looked in my drawer and there it was. So the perfect shirt for the perfect episode. Fuck it.